Hey guys, good afternoon, and welcome back to Praise Dancers Topic Monday. So this is a fun one for me, and the topic of the day is commit to memory what you've learned into rehearsal, and it goes deeper than just memorizing the steps, to the songs, and the counts, five, six, seven, eight, and then the phrases and the steps. It's a little bit more. So it's within this topic today that I'm going to indulge and talk about ways that you can, do more than just memorize movements. So you can go about that through bonding with lyrics, that's listening and studying the lyrics, and then two, connect your movements to what you are feeling. So today, this is going to be a very fun and dramatic episode, so just prepare yourself. So there's four ways that you can go about doing this. Number one is focus on keywords. So a lot of times within praise and worship songs, the keywords are always praise, worship, adoration, and thanksgiving. And that's because, as Christians and as praise dancers, that's what we are commanded to do. We are commanded, to praise and to indulge in worship so we can just develop an intimate daily relationship with the Lord. So that's our focus. So as praise dancers, you want to try to understand how that relates to you and what it means. And that leads me into number two, relating through those keywords through experience. So what is it about those words that provokes a memory or a flashback of whatever experience that you had with God during a time of praise? And I'll give an example: having an attitude of gratitude or thanksgiving. What experience made you so happy and so grateful that you couldn't stop saying thank you enough, that you just had to throw your hands up and and say thank you, Jesus? What experience at that time, what memory do you can ponder on or think about that puts you in the mode of thanksgiving? Can you explain and can you relate it to those keywords? So again, you're just thinking and you're pondering on that experience that you had with God that just made you so happy that you just threw up your hands and said thank you, Jesus. Concentrate on the feeling. And I'm laughing at this because I remember when I was in grad school, the one thing with therapy, they're constantly asking you, how do you feel? How do you feel? And I was one of those persons that I can, write you a story, I can give you a colorful avatar picture, of the sunset and, and the blues in the background and the green leaves and the trees were flowing and the people were singing. And I was just like, ha! And they're sitting there, it's like, well, that's very colorful and thank you for, the trailer to the movie that's coming out. But how did you feel? And for the life of me, I'm telling you right now, I could not explain my feelings. I just couldn't talk about it. I didn't know. I thought by me explaining and giving the background and detailed story that I was expressing my feelings. But basically, I was just, talking about the background. I didn't express how I was feeling. So I'm going to give you examples in 8 key words to describe emotions and feelings. One is fear. Fear means that, you're afraid. Number two, anger. You had this rage, and a good example of that is road rage. Cut somebody off in traffic during the 5 and 6 o'clock hour, you see that person throwing up the middle finger and jumping at the car wanting to beat you behind. Those are examples of rage. Number three is sadness. You're sad, you have feelings of sorrow, and you're depressed. You don't want to be bothered, you just want to curl up, in a corner and just be by yourself. Those are examples of sadness and sorrow. Number four is joy. You're happy and you're glad. Number five is disgust. You're guilty, you feel dirty, you know you did something wrong, you just disgusted with yourself. Number six is trust. You feel accepted, you feel good, you feel safe, you feel secure. Number seven is anticipation. You're looking forward to something happening. Now, I'll give you an example. You're short on cash and you're waiting for that extra paycheck to come in your mailbox so you can pay your bills, or you're just anticipating for something great to happen. So you're waiting on the edge of your seat for something. And there's one more. There's a bonus. You're surprised. You're caught off guard by something unexpected. You didn't plan it to happen. It just suddenly ended up on your doorstep, and you're like, oh my God, what just happened? So those are feelings, of fear and anger and disgust and joy, just being surprised. Number four, you want to connect and practice to, what was given to you by your praise leader. Connect what you're feeling to the steps that was given to you. So for example, and I touched on it before, if the song is saying, praise the Lord and throwing your hands up in the air, what experience is provoked? What memory do you have when you're throwing your hands up in the air? What time that you experienced with God when, you were so happy and you were saying, thank you, Jesus, and everything else. What's the experience? And then what is the feeling? Is it a feeling of, oh, I'm happy? Or it's like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. I can't take it right now. So as you can see, those were two types of expressions. So the first one was happy, happy, thank you, Jesus. And another one was, oh my God, it was anxiety and worry. What are you doing to me, God? I can't take this. Are you kidding me right now? So notice the two expressions. I know it's dramatic, but I'm trying to make a point. Number two, if you hear a song, of worship and, it's talking about nurturing a relationship with God. So an example is, you're hugging yourself and you're rocking back and forth. You have feelings of trust. You're accepting God. You have this confidence that everything is going to be okay. You're happy. So you're just basking in God's presence and you're just basking in His worship. Another feeling that you can get is, fear. What's going to happen. You just got fired from your job. How are you going to pay bills? You're rocking back and forth. How are you going to eat? How are you going to feel, feed your family? So you're having feelings of fear. You're anxious. You're surprised. You're knocked off guard. And then God comes in and just stops you and tell you to keep still, and you're at a peace. So again, the rocking can be a feeling of joy and you're at peace, or you can be afraid and you're worrying, you don't know what's going to happen. So those again are two expressive ways of emotions that you can connect and practice what you are feeling. So again, that was just, my little spiel and my lesson on commit to memory, what you have learned in rehearsal. And again, you want to bond with the lyrics and you also want to connect your experience and your feelings. And again, the feelings were fear, anger, sadness, joy, disgust, trust, anticipation, and surprise. And it's not hard to connect. We do this on a daily basis. We're just not conscious of it. And I'll give you an example. If I hear a Boyz II Men or a Jodeci song, or if I hear any song from the Love Jones soundtrack, I immediately, my heart begins to pitter-patter, my stomach ties up in knots. I'm having experiences and flashbacks, of high school's relationships, the journey of heartaches, the journey of, my feelings being hurt, and also a time of healing. So for me, those songs, remind me of, first love relationships and, just puppy love and everything else. I'm experiencing feeling of happiness and joy and giggling, and, I got my little rose-colored glasses on, and it just, makes me laugh. I'm in my 40s now, I'm 43, so thinking about 20 plus years ago, when I was experiencing love and everything else, it just, makes me happy, and I just get so tickled, by it. So those are examples of connecting to what you are feeling. And if you noticed, and if you watch my body language when I talked about, my first experience of love, I'm smiling, I'm giddy, I'm happy, and then, I'm thinking about, that journey when I had my ups and downs, and I was like, oh, goo goo gaga, and I love you, and then my heart got broken, and I was mad, and I was wanting to fight, and then, I just had, emotions of tears and just crying, and oh, why did this happen to me? Oh my God, I was so in love. So it's those emotions that we go through every day. We just don't pay attention to. It's like I said, it's very easy to connect when we hear a praise and worship song. It's the same principle. It's the same thing that we go to. We think about and we ponder, how Jesus has been that healer in our life. If we experience, cancer, and the doctors telling us that, we have 6 to 8 months to live, and then, we're laying before the Lord and we're crying out for help. God, how are you going to save me in this situation? It's those times that we can experience and ponder, and then we can talk about, and then we can reflect on how we feel. Once we understand those feelings and ponder on it and reflect on it, then we can add movement to it. We can do movements of thanksgiving, which, with such passion and with such admiration, and just, we can wave our hands in the air and say, thank you, Jesus, and be happy because we have an experience and we are connected to those feelings. So the more we are connected to those feelings, then the more emotions and the more passion we can put into our movements. Again, thank you for allowing me to share my little high school experience with you guys, and just to explain and give examples of how we can commit to memory what we learn. And again, I'll give you a recap. We want to bond with those lyrics, and we want to connect our experience as well as feelings with what we're doing. Stay tuned for next week. I have like maybe 2 or 3 more I'm sorry, I'm lying, maybe 3 or 4 more points that I want to share with you with praise dancers' responsibilities. Okay, guys, be blessed then. Subscribe to this channel, and I'm looking forward to hearing, your comments and your thoughts and everything else. I want to be as raw and vulnerable as I can as a praise dancer, because, I'm not perfect. I experienced the praise dancer part as well as the praise dance leader. So again, I just want to, help those who are trying to understand the framework of praise dance ministry, and again, just to remind you of the purpose of it. Okay, guys, that's my spiel. Thank you so much, and be blessed. Take care.